Yo, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Blue Lounge. I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you guys enjoyed the preseason friendly. You should have been able to see it. It was live on the Chelsea Fifth Stand app. It was a good game. It was a good game. We're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be reviewing that game in a little bit. We're going to be talking about the fact that Chelsea signed a player and they're on the verge of signing another player, a centre-back. We're going to be talking about the latest rumours in regards to Erling Haaland and where we are with him. I published a video yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Addressing some of the topics in regards to his contract, in regards to his transfer negotiation, and a whole bunch of other stuff in respect to that. And also, I showed the interview that the journalist had in regards to the encounter he had with Erling Haaland yesterday. There was a lot of bits and bobs that took place yesterday. There was a lot that happened yesterday, and there's a lot that happened today. A hell of a lot. I want to say big up to DJ Sav. I want to say big up to Harjo. And we're going to be talking about Borja. We're going to be talking about Borja as well. We're going to be talking about a lot of the players that were taking part in the game today. Big up to everyone. Big up to everyone. Big up Luke. Big up Talk Blue. Big up Jurov, Can Walker. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I apologise if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Daniel. Big up to everyone. Big up to everyone. Lads, we're gonna have a long night ahead of us. There's a hell of a lot to talk about. I want to say big up to Eric Blue and Burton Ballers, Max Burton. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm guessing you watched the game, both of you.
Yeah, I watched it. Decent game of football.
Yeah, we watched it. Yeah.
It was actually a good game of football, and I was surprised because it's a pre-season friendly. You know, you were expecting people to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more, but now our boys were at it. They were at it.
Yeah, you know what, and it's the fans played their part. Obviously, these guys haven't been able to watch football for a while. And our fans were very vocal, and it didn't seem like a friendly, did it? The way the fans were singing and cheering, it did seem like it was a competitive game. Some of the tackles which were flying in that was a good outing for our boys, yeah, because it's just
a good game.
Yeah, prepares us nicely for the Arsenal game on Sunday.
Yeah, listen, lads, I'm not gonna be putting the link in the stream. Today. I'm going to have open streams on a regular basis, but not every time. In the past, all my streams were open to everyone. Moving forwards, I will have streams that are open to everyone every now and then, but I want to give you guys a more, a more organized stream. And to do so, I'm going to have to keep certain streams a little bit more restricted, but your comments will always be taken up on board, and we're going to be talking with you directly. And should the reason arise where I got to speak to one of you directly, I will ask you on, and I will send you a link to the stream. Blue Clouds TV, Blue Clouds, mate, jump on. Yeah, the link is in the group chat that I've set up. So click on that and jump on. Again, big up Dominic. Bobby, how are you?
Hey Mo, hi Max.
Hey Bobby, how you doing?
I want to ask you something, guys. Didn't what's his name, Fabregas, leave the club a few years back and went to Monaco? I was surprised to see him playing today.
Danny Drinkwater.
Exactly. What was going on?
Yeah.
What was going on with the man? Danny Drinkwater today. What is going on?
Thomas Tuchel deserves a sainthood if he can get that guy come playing the way he did. Like, I don't know if it's friendly, but today that guy was just collecting the ball, passing it, good passes forward. controlling that
play,
midfield.
controlling that midfield.
Yeah. Wow.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I listen, and that's the thing. I'm impressed, but at the same time, I know I shouldn't be, because can he keep that up? Is there longevity to that form? And that, I don't know.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
Danny Drinkwater was obviously, he won a title with Leicester, okay, and he was the mainstay alongside Kante that season. So he's not a bad player, you know, to be part of a two in the midfield, and he was instrumental in that Leicester side as well. I just think when he came to us, actually, he had a lot of issues. I'm not sure if you knew that he had a lot of mental problems that he was going through at the time, which affected his play. So we've got to give him a little bit of sympathy. I know we do take the mickey out of him at times, but you know, you've got to look at reasons why players don't play to their potential.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know Danny Drinkwater has had ups and downs, but you know, he performed really well with Kante, you know, in that season when Leicester won the Premier League. He was a key part of the team. And, you know, a lot of people thought that, you know, because he had Kante next to him, Kante made him look good kind of thing. But what he did today, that is not something that is a one-off. I mean, if he can build on that, we've got a good player there. If he can build on that. But you know, his age, his reputation, it's going to be hard to convince people that this guy can do it. I mean, even Ross Barkley, when he came on in that second half, he had a good impact in regards to, you know, our attacking play. I also want to give a shout out to Armando Borja and what's his name,
Ugba.
You know, the two lads who scored. You know, they had a snip, and you know they banged it away. And Tammy Abraham had a hell of a lot of chances in that first half, and it was just reminiscent of the
season before.
We've had. Yeah.
But you know what,
DJ Sav,
well.
1 second, Max. Big up DJ Sav and big up Nizayon. Welcome to the stream, lads. Nizayon, I've put you on mute for a little bit because I'm hearing your family in the background. So once it quiets down, just unmute yourself.
Yeah, you know what I was going to say. You know what? Even what you know, Danny. We're going back to Danny Drinkwater. You know what it does do as well? It puts him in the shopping window with that performance. Because people may have forgotten about him. So if they're watching him and how he performs, you know, even if he doesn't have a career at Chelsea, then he could do a good job at another club elsewhere.
Definitely he hasn't hurt his chances of a good transfer, a good loan for the season coming. So you know, well done, well done, Danny. But I'm thinking Tammy Abraham just dropped £10 million from that performance today, man. Eric, do you reckon Arsenal still interested in him, man?
I'm a little bit disappointed with the whole Tammy thing, because I knew for a fact that as he missed those two chances, everybody will just focus on the fact that he didn't score, and then Broja came off the bench and scored. That's what happens with strikers. But for me, Tammy played well. Apart from obviously he didn't score, but I think he played well, man. So I don't think he should have, you know.
Yeah, his hold-up play was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
His link up with Callum was decent.
Yeah. The problem I have with him as well.
Sorry, Max. Listen, lads, I will be talking about Haaland. We'll be talking a lot tonight about the transfer market. Erling Haaland, Joules Kounde, Marcus Benatelli. We're going to be talking about all of these players and all of the latest developments in regards to the transfer market. We'll be addressing all of that. But before we do that, I want to give this match its time on my stream. We're going to talk about this match for a little bit, and then we'll talk about Haaland and the rest of the mandem. Yeah. Max, I apologise.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I said the problem I have with Tammy, because obviously one of the shots was a great save, and the ground shots were okay-ish, but in the air, I still have that problem in the air, because that header, that's the one that he should have scored. And for a big guy, 6'3", he just doesn't time his jumping very well in the air. And you know, even there was another one of the ground shots where, had we had like Haaland in that position, he's smacking that with pace into the top corner. this guy, he doesn't hit it with enough power. There's a couple of sort of routine shots for the goalkeeper to save. He just needs to get a bit more oomph behind the ball. That's what I'd love to see if we do get someone like a Haaland. It's just like no nonsense finishing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was talking to one of the panelists off air just before the game, and so just after the game, and he said to me, look, this game is a clear indicator to why Erling Haaland is so important, because we created chances, even with our backup players, we created chances, but we just can't finish them. I'm seeing Niz Zion is keen to jump in here. Me and Niz Zion watched the game on the Fans FC channel. We did a live watch along with Orgs. So, what's your thoughts, mate? What's your thoughts?
This is what I saw from the whole game. The first half was not impressive, but the second half it was impressive because there were goals, and I mean they were clear. I would say Tammy Abraham had some chances that he could have buried it. Ziyech also had some chances that I think that he could have buried if he have hit the ball very well to the near post, the right side of the goalkeeper. But then it went always, all of the ball were going directly to the goalkeeper. And also this is what they've been saying, talking a lot about Tammy Abraham, the area ability, how he can use his his head and neck muscles to be able to control the ball to the back of the net, which he couldn't even do it again. Tammy is struggling. The more we put in the game and he doesn't perform well, the more his price tag keep dropping. Today he's dropped almost about 2 million already. If we play the following game, he's going to lose another more million. And there's also something that I saw from Armando Broja, that young lad, the way he time is running when he kept himself in the onside position and the way he composed himself to finish that ball. It's just nothing but the brilliance from that young guy. If it's Timo Werner, he would have been offside already. And I saw the little time that I saw this guy in the game, he barely found himself in the offside position.
He's a prospect, yeah. But you know what, Blue Card? The 2 million that we just lost on Tammy, we've made on Danny Drinkwater anyway, so that balances it out. At least.
Julius, welcome to the stream. How are you?
Buonasera.
Hola, ¿cómo está? No, you were talking Italian, but I don't know Italian, so I just also do Spanish.
I'm good, man. It's been exciting to see Broja scored. I was happy. That was a nice control, but crap performance overall.
That's a bit harsh.
Really, Julius,
no,
come on.
That's a bit harsh.
I mean.
Remember, this is pre-season. This is our first pre-season game. So
yeah. No, I'm not gonna judge the whole thing based on just this game. I'm just saying I felt the midfield was not good enough today. I think Connor was struggling today.
Connor was struggling. Yeah.
But with Connor, you got to feel sorry for him, especially in the second half, because he was like the lone holding midfielder. Because when you think about it,
out of position. He's out of position.
He's not that kind
and Loftus-Cheeks and Ross Barkley were further advanced, and it kind of left him exposed a bit.
He can't.
Obviously, that's not how we're gonna be playing.
No. He can't do the Jorginho role, so he kept losing the ball and everything, and
I see in the chat someone is saying that I should stop slandering Werner. He worked on his timing. No, Timo Werner. If it's a tight talk. Listen, go watch Timo Werner's game very well. He doesn't work very well on his timing. He always go before the ball is being kicked. So go and check his statistics and how many times he's been found in the offside position. That's when you're gonna know that Timo's timing is off. It's most of the time off.
Sorry, I'm just wondering how did the Thai know that Werner's he's worked on? Like, do you have some sort of personal connections with his entourage or something?
Yeah, I'm not really coming here to just slight the guy over here and then just say what I don't know. I watch his games very well, and the amount of time that he's always found himself in the offside position is way too many. That's why I'm saying that. Look at the young kid, that Broja. Look how he found himself. Make sure he stays onside and then look how he
Listen,
kicked the ball from the inside of his foot to get that goal. That was amazing.
Let's talk about this. A quick yes and no from everyone. I'll start with the Couch Critic. Couch Critic, welcome to the stream. How are you?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Hey.
Not too bad, bro.
Not bad. We're
Not
good.
too bad.
We're good. Listen,
Good to
Couch
see you guys.
Critic. I want you and everybody else on the panel to answer this question with a yes and no. Do you think June Quarter had a good performance today?
Are you going to put me on the spot right away, eh? Just welcome me with a tough question to answer, huh? Okay.
Had to be
To
done.
be honest,
had to be done.
yes, I do think he had a good performance today.
Brilliant. Julius,
Yeah, he was decent.
Nizayon,
Yes, sir.
how was the performance by Danny Drinkwater?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Extra amazing. Yeah, I'll say amazing. Over the bar. He went over the bar. He was amazing. He was composed and distribute passes very well. He found himself in empty spaces. That is his movement. That is why we saw much more from him today, because he wasn't static. He was
Yes
moving
or
all
no?
around.
Yes or no, man? Yes. Bobby,
Yes.
Oh,
And
yes.
the Chelsea
Max.
away fans had a blaster as well. Good warm up.
I gave you
Yeah,
my answer
yeah.
earlier, Baggy. You know.
I know. Eric
Astounding,
Blue.
yes.
Eric Blue.
How would you define good? No, I'm kidding. I'm
Good.
kidding. Sorry,
Alright,
I'm
good
joking,
is
I'm joking.
Fabregas-esque.
No, if it's Fabregas, then obviously.
Oh yeah,
he was
really?
horrible.
Yeah.
No,
Alright,
he was
listen,
alright.
listen.
He was alright.
You guys are harsh. But no, seriously, Dan Drinkwater, he did a good job for us today because.
Don't mind if I do.
he's- Yeah. He's
I'm
gonna
just
be.
wondering why. Baggy, do you want to drink water in the squad for next season? You seem to be
No,
giving him
no,
too much
no.
airtime. Man.
No. But I want him to increase in value, so when we sell him, we get some more money for him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. Guys, I don't want to go through the rating system and whatnot, but I want you to just tell me, each one of you, which player do you think did himself a favor in respect to getting into the team or getting into the squad, into Tuchel's squad moving forward. I'll start with Couch Critic and we'll go around. I mean, from this performance, did anyone do themselves, that solid to get themselves into the squad? Couch Critic, you go first.
I would probably say the person that I saw on the pitch that gave me something to think about was surprisingly Broha. I think his stature on the pitch was in display, and also like his pace. And of course, he finished, which is always good to see. I don't think that there was anyone else that really stood out as exceptional. I would say that his 45 minutes gave me something to think about. I'd also say that surprisingly, Baker didn't look too bad in the back. But I don't anticipate that he's going to be playing there anytime soon again. But there's one person I look actually, yeah, as DJ Sav mentions right now, Cho looked good, but I expected him to. Yeah, he was fantastic in the first half, and I thought if you're going to give man of the match in the first half, it would have been Cho, and then second half for me it would have been Broha. So there you go.
Yeah, no, I was definitely impressed with Cho today. Callum, his movement down the flank, his link-up play with Ziyech, even with Tammy, he created some good chances. I was happy with Callum's performance. Julius, your thoughts, mate?
Was it about Callum Hudson-Odoi? Sorry.
No, we were just who do you think was impressive in the match today, and who do you think has given himself an opportunity to be in Tuchel's squad for this season coming, based on the performance today?
That's a very hard question. I'm a bit harsh overall when I look at those sort of games, but I'm gonna say Broja deserves to be in the first team, not necessarily starting. He still needs time to develop his game. Otherwise, no one from the other ones, to be honest.
All right, we're starting to get this.
What is this?
Yeah,
He's just a clown.
it's been happening. It's been happening a lot today. Listen, admins, moderators in the chat, just keep an eye on these idiots and just block them. Don't time them out. Straight away, block them. First, first comment like that, just block him and get him out of here. I agree. Broja had a fantastic game. He did himself a lot of favors today in his performance, and I think so did Callum. But
I didn't want to.
Callum.
I didn't want to mention that the boys from the first team already. I was meaning from the academy, or like that drink waters and stuff. So obviously Callum, I would love to see him in the first team and featuring even next season. But from the younger boys or like the academy boys that did not feature last season, maybe Broja. That's it. Especially if we don't end up signing Haaland. We probably won't be able to sign anybody, to be honest with you. We might as well just use Broja.
We'll get to that. Julius. We're gonna have a lot to say about Haaland. We're gonna be getting into that discussion pretty soon. But I'm glad Broja performed the way he did. I'm glad the lad did it. Nizayon,
Yes.
who impressed you today? Who impressed you the most?
Well, you guys have mentioned some other players, but it looks like we're also overlooking some other players in the midfield. I saw some great moves from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's a player that has lots of qualities that midfielders don't have. His height and then his stature, and then the way he was moving and intersecting and distributing passes. I saw Ruben. One more game for Ruben, and I'm sure he will be in our team next season. So Ruben really impressed me a lot.
Yeah.
I can mention many names, but I think you want one name, right? And you guys have mentioned a whole lot of names, the Borja, and then the So I don't want to mention them. I just want to see Ruben do more, because I know one more game he will be in the Tuchel's head.
I mean, we have two very, very tough preseason games, Arsenal and Tottenham coming up. So I guess, the opportunity for Broja, Loftus-Cheek, Drinkwater, and other lads to impress is there. I mean, if they can perform against Arsenal or Tottenham, that'll be an opportunity for them. Bobby, who impressed you the most, mate?
To me, preseason games are more or less fitness exercises. And I think for the second game, for me to say, who could get into the squad, I think it's a bit premature. But in terms of performance today, for the outside lads like the Deadwood and the youngsters, Armando Broja, unsurprisingly, did well. Iki Agbo did well, with both of them scoring. I think strikers, there's a certain amount of natural ability with strikers, and sadly we're beginning to see that Tammy doesn't have it. We can't keep doing the same thing expecting a different result, and we've got to bring in Haaland for sure, and use someone like Broja as backup to his development, because you see how instinctively he and Agbo got themselves into positions to score, and not only got into positions to score, were able to score. Put Tammy in that position and he either hits a goalkeeper or balloons it. And I've seen enough now, really. Even if it's just pre-season, this is just a continuation of last season. And, it's time to start to be a bit harsh with players that are just repeating themselves. And just like you, I think Drinkwater had a very good game, and we need to have a look at him again. But of those three, Drinkwater, Broja, and Agbo, we need to look at them again. And that's just how I view it for pre-season. They might have a stinker next game, who knows? But they did well today.
And this is why pre-season is so important, because getting these games out of the way with having nothing riding on them apart from pride and a bit of fitness, it gives us the opportunity to see whether these guys can perform, because the flip side to that is Arsenal, when they're playing us, they want to beat us because it's a London thing, and the same with Tottenham. So it's going to be a friendly, but at the same time, it's going to be banter and bragging rights. So there is a little bit riding on it, and having a good performance there is not going to do anybody any harm. Even if they don't get into the team, then they'll probably get a better loan deal, a better transfer out of the club. As Chelsea this season do seem to be selling a hell of a lot of players. And maybe this is a shop window. I think Max talked about this being a shop window, and this is definitely a good opportunity. So I can care with you, Bobby. Max, who was the one that stood out for you, mate?
Yeah, I don't. Everyone's mentioned Broja before, and obviously he looked outstanding. But I'm going to mention another player who no one's mentioned yet, just because he hasn't played for a while, and I thought his link-up play down the right-hand side with Callum was quite good, and it's the young Dijon Sterling. I thought he was okay defensively, apart from
Absolutely.
that one tackle, that late tackle. But I felt he had a good understanding with Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi down that side, solid defensively.
I liked his positioning.
Great
and
positioning.
His presence.
Yeah.
And he seems like a solid defender. He gives me. I actually said this on the stream, the watch along. He gave me Desai vibes. I know it's a little bit premature to talk about Desai with him, but he gave me those vibes. I mean, his presence, his size and whatnot. I just
you have confidence. You have confidence that it's going to get better.
Yeah,
and you know what as well, because of what he's had to endure in the past, that shows to me that he's got that mentality to come back the way he has as well. So that's good.
Yeah,
and he signed a new contract as well, doesn't he? So he's willing to fight for his place.
Yeah. Before I go to Eric Blue, listen, the moderators in the chat, don't show mercy. If they're spamming, time them out. If they're being racist, straight block them. If somebody's spamming, time them out. And if they're being racist, block them. Don't show mercy. I don't really care about how many people I have in the chat. All I care about is people having a good banter, a good conversation in the chat. So if anybody is coming in here to make to cause a problem, just block them or time them out, because I really don't care less about them. Blue Class TV with their super chat. Man, you're here. You don't need to send this. Habibi, it's okay. You don't need to send this. Thank you.
No, it's not me. It's not me.
So who's this?
My brother.
Oh, okay. Well, say hello to your brother for me.
Yeah.
Big up. Thank you to Blue Class TV. Listen, lads, Blue Class TV. I'm actually gonna.
What's Baggy doing? What's the blue? We can hear you back.
I think we have to. We're waiting for.
All right, Max, take over.
While we wait, I'll quickly just mention mine. I think Max kind of stole mine. I was gonna say Sterling, but
yeah,
that would have been like an honorable mention. Obviously, Broja is the obvious. He's the obvious pick, isn't he? But I think Baba was good with the assists.
Malang Sarr didn't do badly either.
Hey, listen, Blue Class TV, you lagged me out. Why did you lag me out, Blue Class TV? I was looking for your link, lads. In the chat. This is the link to Blue Class TV.
Thank you.
There's 127 people in here. I want to see 127 people subscribe to Blue Class TV now. All right, we're not gonna talk about anything. We're gonna be waiting for you to go and subscribe and come back. So go subscribe to Blue Class TV and come back to the Blue Lounge, because there is a lot of good content on that channel, but YouTube is not giving him the views. So do us a favor, just go subscribe quickly and come back. We'd really appreciate that.
Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure, brother. It's my pleasure. Eric Blue, tell me your thoughts before we move forward. Eric Blue?
Yeah, my thoughts are I was gonna pick a few people, but people already picked them, so I'm not too sure. I'll just repeat what some people said. I think I agree with what Max said about Dujon Sterling. He was good. Baba Rahman was good with the assist as well. Obviously Broja with the finish and with the hold up play, he was pretty good as well. So, but out of those three, the most obvious option is Broja. I think based on the performance we saw, he has the best chance of getting into the squad. But I wouldn't be surprised if Loftus-Cheek gets into the squad as well, because he didn't have an amazing performance, but he didn't really do anything wrong. He did everything right. He moved the ball well, and I had no issues with anything he did. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Tuchel adds him to the squad, because he has been talking about him and I think he likes him. So we'll see.
Yeah. No. Listen. Sorry.
Real quick.
These matches. I'm getting some feedback. These matches will definitely give Tuchel a good base in regards to the performances, in regards to the form moving forward. Because I have a feeling that he is going to incorporate a few of the French players into the squad. I have a feeling that we're going to see some of these players incorporated into the squad. I think Loftus-Cheek has a chance. I think Malang Sarr has a chance. By the way, what did you guys think of Malang Sarr? Because we didn't really talk about him.
Yeah, I said when you were off air that I think he did well. He didn't do badly at all, and I'd like to see him again in the next game.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna talk about another topic. Listen, this game, good game. We have a lot to build on moving forwards. This game has given us a good benchmark into where we are and how we can move forward. I'm glad we went behind and then we came back to win the game, because it shows that we're still able to do that. And I didn't want the fans who were shouting out champions of Europe, we know what we are, to end up walking away with a draw or a defeat, because that is just not, that's not what Chelsea's about. Chelsea's about winning right now, and I want to keep that going. I want to talk a little bit about what happened today in regards to the transfer market, and then we will talk about Erling Haaland towards the end of the stream, because I know there's a couple of guys that are away right now, but they will be joining us pretty soon. Well, here's one of them now. Jem is here. Jem, welcome to the stream.
Yes, man. What's happening, people? You right?
We're good. We just discussed the Bournemouth. We just discussed the Bournemouth match, and now we're moving forward to the transfer market. Now, firstly, good signing in regards to the goalkeeper. What do you guys think of this new lad, Marcus Benatelli, or whatever his name is? Is it English lad with an Italian name? Blue Class TV again with another super chat.
We looked at him a couple of times, haven't we? Apparently. Yeah, he's going to be our third choice goalkeeper, so it's no biggie. But what we got to remember is that when Mendy goes off to the African Cup of Nations, he's going to be second choice, or even maybe first choice, depending on how Kepa does. But he played a couple of times for Fulham, didn't he?
I'm hearing a kid in the background coughing. So can someone just mute themselves if you've got a kid in the background? Sorry.
Yeah. So a couple of times I saw him play for Fulham, and he had a decent game at the time. But obviously he was their reserve goalkeeper, not their main goalkeeper. So But my question is, should we have got him, or should we have given more games or relied on one of our younger players, younger goalkeepers? As it's Ziyech, or whatever the name, I can't remember the guy's name. Ziyech, I think his name is, in the reserves, because it's going to be the third choice. But I'm thinking, because Mendy's going to the Africans Cup of Nations, that's probably why we need someone with a little bit more experience than Yeah.
The way I see it is bringing a youngster into that role will just restrict their progression because they're not going to be playing.
Yeah,
So
that's the other thing. Yeah.
So having someone who's a little bit older coming into that role as an easier job, basically, you know, he'll be called upon should he need to be playing.
Why did
He's
we?
already go on.
Why didn't we bring Romero from Man United in? He's not even second choice there, and he would be. I actually reckon he'd be second choice at Chelsea if he come in. I think he was good. He was a good backup for De Gea before Henderson come in anyway. So I think that's what we should have done. Really.
Yeah. How many years has he got on his contract there? Because this guy is coming in as a free, isn't he? So and his wages are not going to be high. So probably that's the thinking behind getting this guy.
I think Romero would have cost us a lot anyway, to be honest. Even with 2 years off, he's got 2 years left on his contract with Man United. But I don't know. Here's what it is. At least we got it sorted.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to come in onto this goalkeeping thing before we move on to the centre back?
Yes, my centre back. I love it.
Yeah. All right. So Chelsea has got their first transfer of this window done, and today we heard about the second potential transfer. And this second potential transfer, apparently everything is done. Agreement has been reached with the player. Agreement has been reached with the opposing team. Paperwork is done. All it is sign here, sign there, medical this. Get on a plane, get over here. And that is all been done without anyone knowing anything about it.
It's true.
We just found out about it today. Kounde was a player that was mentioned, a couple of months ago that, Chelsea were looking at him, But all of this that's happened, it happened with top secrecy, in a very confidential manner, which is brilliant because it gives me hope that there is some other player that we could be moving on to in a confidential manner. And then, in a couple of days, we'll find out that everything has been done in regards to him as well. We'll get to him in a minute. Kounde, as a centre back, he is a small size centre back in respect to the others. He's a good ball player. He's young. He's also a French international, which is a very, very prestigious place to be because France is one of the best teams in the world, and the defense is one of the best defenses in the world. So for him to be, challenging to be the French centre back, and for him to also be able to play on the right back position, he provides a lot for Chelsea. But is he the right player to come in, especially considering that his deal may involve Kurt Zouma going out on the to the other team? So where do you guys stand in respect to this transfer? I want to know your thoughts in regards to all of what I just mentioned. And it's open to everyone to discuss.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind starting, but I'm going to probably be going on for about 10 minutes here because there's so much to talk about. So
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, this deal makes so much sense that it's, as much as it hurts to see Zouma go, because I think Zouma was... he was a fan favourite more than anything. All right, he's not had the best of performances under Tuchel, but I'd like to say that a lot of Chelsea fans liked Kurt Zouma. I think it makes sense when you look at the current manager. You look at how we play. You look at how Zouma fits in, which I don't think he does. We play, especially with the three at the back. I think we play to his weaknesses. The fact that we've decided to do this player swap, including him. And we're looking to bring in who I think... He was my first choice before Upamecano, before Varane. This is the guy I wanted. This bringing in Kounde at the age of 22 shows progression in terms of where we're going. So if you look at the average age of our squad at the moment, it makes a lot of sense. There's a nice young project going on there. He brings versatility, which means that he doesn't... Not only can he play in the centre-back role, he can play as a right centre-back. There's also talks about him being able to play as a sort of central defensive midfielder as well, which I haven't seen, but people talking about and saying he's not bad at doing as well. His strengths are his pace, his interceptions. Now, a lot of people keep throwing, and I've seen it all over Twitter, about his height. It's nonsense. He's the same height as Azpi. And is Azpi that bad in the air? Because I don't think he's that bad in the air. And if you look at his stats and what he done in La Liga from 2020 to 2021, he won most of his duels throughout the whole season in the air. So for someone that's that small and not that good in the air, it's just a myth. Number two, we're playing in a Premier League. The Premier League's changed since the 90s, and I'm sure you guys, Burton and Bobby, etc., would know this. You don't play like it's not like back then where you used to get the ball. The goal used to pick up the ball and kick it from a goal kick, and you'd have a Les Ferdinand on the end of it who would flick it on. It's changed from then. It's changed so much to the point now that teams these days play out from the back. A lot of teams are comfortable in building from the back. Yeah, it's only the odd team like a Burnley who their strengths are hoofing it forward 30, 40 yards up the pitch to a Chris Wood who will flick it on. But that's because they play to their strengths. But that's changed. Them days have changed. And the signing of Kounde makes so much sense for me that I understand, as much as it hurts that Zuma's gone the other way, I understand why he fits the bill. Because if we lose Thiago Silva, Christensen could slot into that middle and Kounde could literally play as a right centre-back. You know what I mean? And Aspi's not going to get as much game time as well. And it also means that Reece James can go back to playing as a right wing-back as well. I think by doing that, by bringing in Kounde, it also means Reece James is going to be back in his normal position. But this guy's got the opportunity because at the end of the day, the one thing that Tuchel's done very well last season is elevate players into levels that I didn't even expect. You look at Jorginho and you look at Christensen. He's managed to be able to bring the best out of his players. Kounde under Tuchel can only be a good thing because he's with a great manager that helps elevate players to different levels. So I think we should be happy with this signing.
I think.
Sorry, Max. I think one of the key elements that Kounde offers is his ball playing potential.
Distribution.
And that is something that totally suits what Tuchel is all about. And I think having him instead of Zouma, I love Zouma. I think Zuma's a great defender, but Zouma doesn't play well under the Tuchel system, and we saw that. So Kounde can offer something more in respect to that. Max, I apologize for cutting you off.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's very comprehensive by Jem, actually. He's covered a lot of the points. Obviously, he's watched this guy a lot as well.
No. Jem has been on like 5 streams today, yeah. So he's got all that information, and he's just telling us right now. So,
Jem, can I?
I've been saying this on 5 different streams. Yeah. I'm so stuck in my head right now.
So I just want to echo what he's.
Oh, I'm sorry, Max. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I just want to echo what James said as well. Aerial duels 1. If you go on who scored, for instance, he's strong with aerial duels. You don't have to be being tall helps, but as Jem rightly said, nowadays football's played in a different way. But he's got a good leap on him as well. So if you guys remember a guy called, I know Bobby remember a guy called David Speedy. David Speedy was 5'7", 5'8". If Sodrika's in the chat, he'll definitely know this guy as well. But for this guy used to win a hell of a lot of balls in the air at that height because he just knew how to time his jump and get to the highest point. And I've seen the way Kounde plays, and he's like that as well. He's got a great leap. Our boy we let go, Tomori had a similar thing because he wasn't the tallest, was he? But he used to win a fair amount of duels just because of the way that he leaped and timed his play. This guy is world class at bringing the ball out from the back. I'll say that's his strongest attribute. He's got the control of a great midfield player. He's gonna carry the ball. What our defenders, all the back three we got, none of them were great at carrying the ball. Rudiger actually last season surprised me at the way that he carried the ball from the back.
Christensen.
Yeah, Christensen. Yeah, I'll say he can be more passes the ball.
He's better.
Yeah. But this guy, I've seen him go from defence to attack as well, and then finish something, get on the end of something and finish it. So he's a quality player.
Yeah, I think that he epitomizes what the modern day center back is shaping up to be.
Exactly.
Good on the ball, combative. Like he reminds me, in terms of, I was watching some of his videos today, and in terms of his ability to shut people down. He reminds me of Aspi in a lot of ways. He gets real tight to his man
Yeah,
and is
yeah.
really, really aggressive in the tackle. So I think that's what we're going to be looking for in center backs now. Just really good on the ball, aggressive, and then also I think one of the things that we haven't really been really focusing on is he's of that modern breed in terms of the fact that he's a little bit more positionless. Like he could play in the midfield, I think.
Yeah.
He looks like the type of player that could play in the midfield, and he can also play it. It looks like he can play. Well, he did for France, anyways, not so well, but he was there, right-sided, right wing back. So I think the versatility is on display. I think his tenacity is on display, and again, like I'm with everyone. I think Zuma is a fan favorite in so many different ways. Like just always a great guy. Never really complained about anything. But in terms of how Tuchel wants to set up his team right now, we prefer players that are a little bit more comfortable on the ball, and unfortunately, Zuma doesn't fit that mold. I would say that the only caveat I have right now is just that I think that Zuma gives us a little bit more of a well-rounded defense, in that he gives us the ability to be more bullish in the air and really bullied center forwards. I think we lose a bit of that now. But having said that, the reason why I think Kounde is so valued in our setup is the fact that Sevilla already play with a possession style. They average close to 60% possession.
Yeah.
In Europe, which is I think top 5 in Europe or whatever. So he comes in and already automatically plays in a system that we play and is comfortable in. So I think we lose Zuma, we lose the versatility in our defense, but we gain somebody that is, I think, ultimately going to help our defense be more aggressive.
We also lose the goal threat. Sorry, Bobby. We also lose the goal threat as well.
That's true.
6 goals from the
Can I bring a bit of a counter argument here? I welcomed Joules Kounde to Chelsea. I've heard so many positive things about him, but after him, I don't want to see another physically challenged player come into this Chelsea team. I think we have problems with height, we have problems with physicality, and I think a player like that will be slightly limited in the Premier League. Yes, times have changed, but you still have your physical West Hams. You still have your physical Burnleys. Man United are quite physical. And if you have a centre-back that is challenged physically, trust me, Premier League teams will exploit that weakness. I kind of think this guy is coming in, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him more in the sort of CDM role and as the right wing back role, and occasionally playing centre back, just like Aspi does. I don't see him, and I think it would be slightly presumptuous to put him as the right side of a centre back 3 or a centre back anything in this Premier League. It's going to be dangerous. Even in the Champions League, look how physically we struggled against Porto. We struggle with physical teams, and now that teams know us more, we just don't need another weakling in the squad.
Hold on. Just one second.
I told you I'll be controversial.
We'll go Jem, and then we'll go Ni Zion. But before we do that, listen. Do we have how should I put this? An aggressive centre back, a centre back that can get up close and personal to these attackers? We do. Rudiger. Zuma was also doing that. Okay, now this lad apparently is a different type of defender. The talk is, and Jem will probably either agree or disagree on this, depending on what people are talking. But from what I understand is, this guy is going to be the protege to Thiago Silva, because he seems to be from the same mold in regards to defensive style. But I think Thiago Silva is also a little bit more physical when it comes to his playing, and this guy maybe is a little bit more technical. So I want to know what do you guys think in regards to his partnership, because having him in the team, who is he going to have with him? And should Chelsea be looking at an replacement to Thiago Silva and Rudiger to also suit this defender? Because this defender coming in, he's not cheap. He's not a cheap defender. I think we're talking close to 50 million for this guy. Even it might be even more with the add-ons and whatnot. But who is going to be with this guy? Because this guy is a youngster. He's a player that we're going to be looking at for the future. So I want to address that, and I want to give Jim the opportunity, and then we'll go to Zion. But before I do that, though, lads, we have 155 of you in the stream right now. Do us a favor and hit that like button, and also as you can see, I'm really close to that 7,000 subscriber milestone. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do it. Consider it. I'd really appreciate it. Jem, mate, give me your thoughts.
I think the first thing that we need to understand and remember is that we've got a world-class defender that plays for our football club, and that's Thiago Silva. Ever since he's came in to this team, he's elevated the defence, the levels of how we play, and he's a role model and he's a leader. And the one thing he will do, and which will help Joules Kounde, especially for this season that he's with him, is that he will improve him, he will guide him, he will potentially pick up a bags of experience from who I think is a dying breed in many ways, because there's not many left when you think after Thiago Silva of the caliber of defender that what he is. Now Joules Kounde, yes, he might not look the biggest, but he's actually the same size as Aspi. Yeah, he's not the biggest in frame. I get that as well, but he's not someone that gives you room on the ball. So if you've got the ball, he's tight on you. He's always in your face. He's always not giving you time. Even if you turn him, yeah, he's got the pace to be able to recover. Yeah, I agree in terms of he might struggle against the Burnley with the size of someone like Chris Wood, who's a giant. But I just think any defender would struggle against Burnley. Any defender would struggle against Burnley if you're not the size of Virgil van Dijk or a Harry Maguire. And let's be serious. There's not many defenders in the Premier League at the moment that are of that caliber, of that size. Anyway, in my opinion, and I just think.
Sorry,
that
Jim. Just 1 second, Jim. Couch critic. There's a lot of audio feedback coming from your end. Please have your mic on mute unless you're talking. Everyone, if you're not talking, have your mic on mute. It reduces the audio imbalance. Yeah, Jim, I apologize, mate. Carry on.
It's all right. I was just finishing off. I just think that he's for the future. Yes, we need to try and find him a partner for the future. That might not be by the bunch that we've got at the moment. It might be. It might be a Christensen him. It might be a Rudiger him. I don't know. But I do think it makes a lot of sense bringing someone like him in now. And
Christensen's not physical enough. It's another weekly.
Not physical enough, but you say that. But he's improved and he's
better. He's better. Yeah,
but
definitely.
My point is, we've got a manager that seems to be able to work with these guys on their weaknesses and elevate their levels. So the things that we were worried about, we don't see as much. And people might say that might be to do with our formations. I agree. 3 at the back or a 5 at the back makes us very strong. There's not many gaps for people to break through. But I just think we're signing a top quality under 23 defender, and he's definitely one for the future for us, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is a player that Chelsea have been looking at for quite some time. We know he was mentioned. Green Turf, I will be sending you the link in just 2 seconds. So sit tight. Zion, you were about to jump in. Zion.
Yep. I just unmute myself. Yeah. And this argument, I really agree with what Bobby was saying earlier on. We're just looking at. I won't say a lot of us are looking at just the strength and the height, and then what Joules Kounde have done in the Spanish league. But we have to remember the pace and the tactical way that the Spanish people play. But a lot of our team over here, I'll say maybe the top 4 most of the time that plays more possession based. But even Manchester United are more direct. Let's say you're playing a team like Bournemouth, Burnley, and then West Ham United, and then Wolves. Those are the teams that are looking to hit you in the break. In the height of Joules Kounde, as we all say, that he could be an Aspi, but he's not an Aspi. You know what I'm saying? He's not an Aspi, and he can never be an Aspi. But then we haven't seen the Kounde playing a low block team that will sit and then hit you in the break and that kind of thing. But all depend on who Kounde will be playing with. It is partnering with either Thiago Silva, more experienced, like we said. But then Thiago Silva, we also see he also makes mistakes anyway. So yeah. He's coming to the Premier League. He might learn more from the big guys like Rudiger, who is more physical, and Christensen, like you guys said, Christensen have learned more from that blunder he put up in against Barcelona. So, well, with me, my only problem is the height. If we are playing with the back three, Kounde will find himself in a hot soup. But if you're playing with the back four, it might help him a little bit. That's what I
actually
say.
think it's the other way around.
No, I think it's the other way around. It's the other way around.
Can I just jump in real quick? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's going to be a squad game at the end of the day. So you know what Tuchel likes to do. Tuchel does like to rotate a lot, so he's going to look at the opposition as well. So if we're playing like a Chris Wood or something, he may choose a more physical defender and not play him for that particular game. So he's going to look at the opposition, find out what team's the best to play against that opposition, and do so accordingly. So I wouldn't be so hung up against the Burnleys and things, because I'm with Jem. I think not everyone's just mentioning Burnley, so that goes to show that there's only a few teams who play with that.
Well,
we
mentioned West Ham as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Burnley, West Ham, Palace, maybe. I wouldn't say Wolves. I don't think
I wouldn't. There's more ball playing teams out there than there is go long teams, and that's what I'm getting at. There's 20 teams in the league.
Right.
I just think I think this. Sorry. So I was going to say, I think this probably won't happen, but I don't think we can afford to let Zouma go. If this is Kounde is going to need a season to settle, and if he's a prototype to Thiago Silva, it is a settling in season for him. I don't think we can afford to let Zouma go. I really don't.
But you say that, though, Bobby.
There is a strong physical element in the Premier League.
He ain't going to play.
Not prepared
but
for.
Bobby,
I mean, look at our CDM. We need a CDM. We need physicality in the midfield. I don't care what anybody says. Our midfield overperformed last season when Tuchel was here.
Bobby, let's flip it quickly. 2 seconds, right? We play this same system that we're playing at the moment with 3 at the back, right? Let's say Thiago Silva and Aspi get injured, yeah? Zouma comes in to play in this back 3. Who would you rather have? A Kounde that can probably fit in that back 3 a lot easier because that's his strengths, distribution, pace. You know, I think he's a better all-rounder sort of with the ball as well. Or a Zouma who we know is not comfortable playing in the back 3 and struggles to distribute the ball out.
In some games, I would even prefer a Zouma. In some games in the Premier League, I'll prefer a Zouma because he's solid enough at the back.
Yeah, one thing as well. Post Lampard, Zouma hasn't really played that many games under Tuchel. No. Yeah, how many games has he played since Tuchel's come? Probably 4 or 5. So that reliance on Zouma isn't there anymore. And most of the time that he was played was to give others a rest. And that game against Arsenal, I think, where everyone was blaming Jorginho for that, but probably Zouma was the one to blame due to him not being comfortable in possession.
Facts.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I just contest one thing? I don't think this is just based on my limited knowledge and what I've seen so far, but if we're looking at the successors in the defense, I don't think that Kounde is going to be a Thiago Silva replacement. I think that's Christensen naturally, just in terms of being that sort of like libero role. And if I was going to say he's looking for his replacement, to me is Azpilicueta on the right center back position, just because you take away so much of his skills if you put him in that libero role, because you want him to come out and use his ball playing ability and his ability to get forward in that respect, right? So I don't know if we have another right side, maybe Reece James, but I'm sure we'd rather see him at wing back anyways. He seems like he's going to be the deputy to Aspi when Aspi's ready to relinquish that role.
Yeah, he's got the same tenacity.
I'll be so much more comfortable with this if we had like a Declan Rice in midfield. somebody
Oh,
with
God.
the physicality to protect the back.
Why did you mention it?
We're going to need that, Jem. We're going to need that. You know, we're going to need a bit more physicality in that midfield. We can't have all these little players. We're not in the Spanish league where everybody plays this little dainty tiki-taka and, you know, pass here, pass there. This is
Bobby,
the Premier
Italy
League.
just won the
We are
Euros with
bullies.
3 little players in the middle.
Chelsea won the Champions League with 3 little guys.
Like it's past that. This physicality thing. We're part. Like, don't get me wrong. You'll come up against teams that might be, you know, stronger than you on the ball, but they have to get the ball first. Chelsea are a team that
even
keep the ball well.
Look what Villa
you know?
did to us.
Bobby,
Look what Burnley did to us.
Give me a second. Give me a second, lads. Nizayon, it needs to bounce. So just give him a couple of minutes. Nizayon, any last thoughts before you go?
not much. I don't have much to say, but I just have to bounce and then take care of some other issues at home. So thank you guys for being here and chatting with you guys, Jim, and then Bobby and Blue, and then everybody, Max, Baggy. Thank you for the opportunity, and then I'll see you guys some other day. Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I just say one point as well? Manchester City.
Before you say that, Max, this is Boogeyman. I'm pretty sure this is Boogeyman. Boogeyman, to join the stream, you have to be on Twitter. So create an account and follow the Blue Lounge on Twitter, and I will add you onto the panel. Okay, we have a specific panel group, and I will add you onto that. But you need to have a Twitter account. So create a Twitter account and follow the Blue Lounge. And listen, lads, if you want to be part of these closed streams, I know I can't remember his name. What is it? Blue Talk Blue. If you want to also join, you need to follow me on Twitter and just send me a message, and I will add you to that panel. It's the Blue Lounge, Blue Talk Blue. It's the Blue Lounge, the Blue Lounge. M Kasim at the Blue Lounge. All right, so add me on, and I will send you guys the link. Who was talking? Who did I call?
Yeah, I was saying, Man City have done it a couple of times. Won the league with small technical players, because if you look, they've won it with 3 smaller midfielders before. Before Rodri came, Fernandinho was there, and they've had people like what's his name, Silva and Bernardo Silva and the other Silva, who are not the biggest, but they've kind of managed it. So if you can set your team up to defend in the right way, then you don't need that physical aspect. You need maybe 3 or 4 physical players, but you don't need a team of physical players in order to win the league.
I agree.
Keep in mind what we did to Burnley last year too. We 3-0'd them easy. That was one of the easiest games of the season with these.
That's
small
because they
midfielders.
couldn't get the ball off us, and that's what I'm getting at. We keep the ball so well under Tuchel, and this is why we've got to not worry too much about this physicality thing. They have to get the ball. Do you know what I mean? To be effective. And
we beat West Ham 3-0.
Exactly.
That was a tough game, though. That was a tough 3-0.
Yeah.
Lads, let's talk about the story that everyone has been asking about in the chat. Let's talk about the Erling Haaland situation. And apparently there's some news about Lukaku right now. I can't seem to find it, but DJ Sav, if you have anything, then just DM me, because I'm looking and I can't find it. In regards to Erling Haaland, lads. All right. Now today, Fabrizio Romano made a short video about this. He also had a live Twitch interview with Yang Og Foytov. They discussed it. I watched it live, and there was nothing there that we haven't heard them say already. Okay, nothing. Literally everything that was talked about in that exclusive interview was being said already. So there are other little bits. There are other little bits that have happened over the past couple of days in regards to Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland was seen by a journalist, and the journalist said hello. Erling Haaland said hello back. What's the latest on my news? Erling Haaland said. The journalist said, well, Chelsea are interested in you for £150 million. And he said, I'm not worth that much. And he said to him, well, apparently that's the situation. And he said, well, I'm not worth that much, and I'm happy here at Dortmund. And there's others who say that there was more to that story, and apparently he also said, well, I haven't spoken to my agent for a month, and I don't know what's going on in regards to that. BS, in my opinion. I mean, come on. You're the biggest story right now, and you haven't spoken to your agent for a month. You haven't spoken to your dad for a month, because your dad is pretty much your agent. With all due respect, Erling Haaland, Alfie Haaland, and Mino Viola, and also Jan Ark Voitov. That's the Haaland camp, and one is for marketing, one is for finances, and one is for whatever. Right now, that's what's been happening, and there's nothing more to that officially. Fabrizio Romano has been very tight-lipped about this. Does he know anything and he's keeping it quiet because that's what he's supposed to do? Or is he being quiet because he doesn't know anything? And really, it's a matter of opinion, a matter of perspective. And the people in front of you on this panel all have an insight and all have followed the story since day one. So, lads, where are we with the Erling Haaland story? And I'm going to start with Julius, because he hasn't said a word for the last 10 minutes. So, Julius, tell me what you think about Erling Haaland and the story so far.
I think Fabrizio Romano doesn't have any information from the Chelsea side. Also, there is a lot of journalists that knows a lot about this deal, but they are not allowed to speak anything.
Yeah,
could be legal thing. I don't know. They could be legally binded not to speak anything, because Chelsea seems to be trying to keep their business done secretly, and they take this very seriously. Look at the Kounde deal. Nobody even mentioned this. All of a sudden, it's already done. So that's one of the aspects. The other thing I want to talk about regarding the video that you posted from the training camp at Dortmund.
Wait. Let's watch it. Why not? Let's watch it. Let me get it up here. Because I think watching it will allow us to get a visual impression of it. Hold on, share. I'm gonna have to turn off my mic, I think, so that you guys can hear it. Turn off my headphones. Alright, tell me if you guys can hear this when I play it. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
I don't think so, that they will lose him too. I had a little chat with him today, actually. He just passed by and asked me, hey, are there any news about me? I said, no, actually no. Chelsea is still at £150. And he was smiling and said, no, I'm not that worth. But he's very satisfied here at Dortmund. He loves to play for Borussia Dortmund. Everything is fine for him, and he doesn't seem to that he wants to leave. And so I don't think that he will leave. And the club manager, Michael Zorc, said we won't sell him this summer. And he said this about Jadon Sancho last summer, and they didn't sell him. So I'm pretty sure that Haaland will stay in Dortmund.
All right.
Yes,
So, interesting, huh?
I wish it was £150.
I wish it was as well, man. I'll buy a couple of them.
A journalist, with all due respect, but he can say £150 million. And also, if you notice something, all of the info he just gave is from his own perspective. Nothing was factual. Because Haaland did not explicitly tell him, I don't want to leave, I'm happy to stay at Dortmund. He looked happy. Of course he's going to be happy. Is he going to be crying in training? So that video is just nothing. He did not bring anything new. Seems to be an agenda against Chelsea and the Haaland deal. A lot of people don't want that deal to happen as well. it seems a lot of journalists even don't want that deal to happen. But in my opinion, it's going to happen 100%. And Haaland, the reason why he asked him, is there any news? That tells you that there is something happening. And Haaland just having fun with the journalist, nothing more.
Baggy, did you see the interview he did on Sky? Erling Haaland himself. Did you watch that one? Yeah, he did an interview on Sky. So I watched it earlier. And I didn't know whether I was watching Erling Haaland talking or Pinocchio, actually, because his nose was getting bigger and bigger as he was talking. Because one thing he said he hasn't spoken to his agent in a month. So those pictures I saw on the yacht was them partying about 3 weeks ago. That was So it was him, Mia Riola, and some others with him. So
Mahrez and
and he's got to be diplomatic. He's not going to say what. I want to leave Dortmund. He's going to say he's happy at his club, isn't he? So that's the standard answer that most footballers are going to give. You know,
I don't think he. After everything that I've seen and heard up to now, I finally realised in my head, this is my own opinion on what I think it is. I don't think it's Haaland. I don't think it's necessarily what Haaland wants. I think it's all on Dortmund. And I think that him coming to Chelsea has always been about Dortmund. I think he's happy at Dortmund. Don't get me wrong. I think he wouldn't even care if he stayed there for another year. But I think it all ultimately falls down to what Dortmund want to do with this. Because if Chelsea lay that money and they accept it, he goes. And I don't think he even moans about it. I don't think he even questions it. I think this is just all on Dortmund. There's nothing to do with him. This is what I think.
Agreed. Yeah. And did you see there was another report? Sorry, I'll let you go. There was another report today where an advisor to Dortmund, he was saying about what's that?
Was it a scout?
I can't remember the guy's name, but what he said is if he mentioned 200 million, actually, he didn't mention the 150, but he said, how would I explain to our shareholders if we don't take that sort of crazy money? And it was 250, but obviously 250, 150, 200, call it what you want. But that to me was sort of saying, you know what, if they're offering that sort of money, then for a business, we're a business as well, we'll be silly to turn it down.
That's what Dortmund want them to say, because that's what Dortmund wants, right?
They're in control.
To offer 150, and then that's what's gonna come down to. And if Chelsea doesn't offer that 150, then we'll have a different talk.
Yeah, my worry is that the number keeps going up. First we hear 130, then we hear 150, and it's 175, and now it's 200. This guy's talking about.
At 130 million pounds sometimes, or 100, depends on if it's euro or pounds. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm assuming he said 200 million euros, but still, that's more than.
No, I just think he just plucked that figure out of the air. I just think it was just to say, look, an insane amount. So, and for me, 150 gets the deal done.
All right, listen. Scenario. If Chelsea don't buy Haaland because they didn't offer 200 million, would you guys be upset about that?
Nope.
200 is too much, I think. Even for someone like Haaland.
Okay.
I think I'll be upset.
Okay. Why? You think it's worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Because he's going to generate you more money from every aspect. His value is going to increase. The shirt sales are going to be mad. This guy is Cristiano Ronaldo in the making when it comes to publicity and advertisement and sponsorships. From a business perspective, it makes perfect sense. I'm really getting tired of this. Too much for this guy, too much for that guy. You know?
Well, think about the math, though.
Sorry?
Just think about the math, though. We're talking about upwards of, even if you amortize it, that's 50 million euros, and then plus his wages, right? That's
his
amortized over 5 years.
300k a week, which is a bargain for someone like him.
Sure, but then you look at, say, for instance, he decides he wants to go to Real Madrid later. You think Real Madrid's going to pay 250 million euros?
They will.
Yes.
I don't think they will.
Yes.
I don't think they
They
will.
will
not,
You know what I
because
think will happen? You know what I think will
Look,
happen? He'll wait till his
look,
contract runs down,
right
and then
now.
he'll go there and collect
Right now.
like crazy
Right-
money from them, just from his
Exactly.
from his wages.
Exactly.
So he'll let it run down.
No, but listen, we're not gonna buy him and offer him a 5-year contract. We're gonna offer him a 7-year contract. For that money,
You
we're gonna
think
offer him a
so?
7-year. It has to be.
I hope
It has
so.
to be. If we're paying that much money, we have to have at least a 7-year contract on him, because you want to have at least 2-3 years where you can sell him. Take 4 years out of him. 3 years later, you can sell him. The issue is this. The issue is this with Real Madrid. Real Madrid, I don't know where they get their money from. I don't know how they they state funded, because Alaba, his contract is a crazy contract. His signing on fee is a crazy signing on fee. They were able to do that. They were able to afford Alaba, even though they're in a financial problem. They created the Super League because they needed to get themselves bailed out of this whole financial situation that they're in.
Absolutely.
So what I'm trying to say is this: Erling Haaland for 200 million is, in my opinion, worth every penny, because you are going to recuperate that money. And at the same time, look at who we are. We are Chelsea Football Club. All right, Abramovic is preparing to pay a tip from his own pocket to Mino Raiola and Haaland's dad. A tip of £40 million. A tip. He's prepared to pay that from his own pocket. Yes, it will go through the official channels, so it won't be a dodgy transaction. But he can do that from his own pocket. He can pay £40 million from his own pocket. He ain't going to be able to pay £200 million from Chelsea Football Club.
It's not that he can't. It's just whether or not it works. It works to our advantage.
Couch, I'm with you 100%. We need to get this transaction done in a way where it's affordable for us, because we have to balance our books. We have to, address other players. I mean, we can't be Man United buying Maguire for a ton when he's not worth a ton. Okay, and that had a repercussion on us. Because Man United bought Maguire for a ton, they thought they can sell Chilwell to us for a ton. But we had to convince them. Listen, you want to sell this lad? You got to pay. You got to accept what we offer him to pay you. And we managed to do that with Leicester City. But that's what I'm saying. Chelsea are not going to be stupid, and they're not going to be paying crazy money for this player. But I think he's worth it. Because if we're looking at Mbappe for these kind of prices, we can listen. Chelsea Football Club is a massive club. We need to understand this. We are one of the best teams in the world because we are the champions of Europe.
Peggy, as much as I agree with you, and I do 100%, I think we can. I think in a normal day we can afford a Haaland. It's not exactly how much he is. It's structuring it. And that's the issue. It's structuring that kind of money so that you don't fall out of the FFP rules if later on we slip back
have been
into
relaxed. They have been relaxed.
They have
substantially.
That's why I said if we go back into it later on. There's a lot to a deal of this size, of this magnitude, that it can't just be, here you go, 200 mil, cool, we'll take him. It's got to work for us. It's got to work for Dortmund. Yeah. It's got to work for him. Now, if it works for us, but it don't work for Dortmund because they want an extra, 20, 30 mil topped up on what we're originally offering them because we're trying to lay it off every couple of years, then it's not structured correctly, because Chelsea then turn around and go, well, hang on, we can't afford to do that because our books don't allow us to do it A, B, C and D. So I think there's more to it than just, as much as I think the value of the player, I get it. I think it will be 100% worth it. It's more of a structure issue of how you pay it back in many ways, and how you all agree to it, which is why I think it's probably taken as long as it is, because it's such a big amount of money, Yeah.
So, in my opinion, yeah, exactly, yeah. In my opinion, for that kind of price, yes, the player is worth the price, but just like Jem is saying, if I'm paying for that kind of money for a player, I would want the player for as long as possible, So I'm thinking at least 5 years, personally. But that's just part of it. There's so many other aspects you have to look at. But just in terms of the the contracts, how many years it would take to pay Dortmund for the player, I would be looking at least 5 years.
I think the pre-agreement is over a 4-year period, but I think it's for us as a club, depending on the contract, is how the money is divided. But in regards to the way we pay it, we can pay it in one go. But if it's a 7-year contract, it will fit within financial fair play. If it's a 4-year contract, it will be an issue. So I think it's how the money is divided upon the actual contract itself. But that isn't really a concern for me. And I want to address this topic with you lot, because everyone on this panel, listen, guys in the chat, everyone on this panel, either journalists, YouTubers, content creators, old school fans, we are all connected to our club in one way or another. So I want to ask you lot in the chat and also in the panel, this talk about, is this player worth it? Is that player worth it? We shouldn't be buying this for this amount of money, because we see that a lot. We see that with the Chelsea fan base more than any other fan base. For example, Declan Rice. Oh, I'm happy to get Declan Rice, but not for 80 million. I want to pay 40 million. It's like we're paying it from our own bank accounts. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, why do we have that mindset? And is that mindset correct or not correct? I mean,
it's correct.
It's open.
Do you blame him? Do you blame him after the Kepa sale?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming.
No, I know you're not blaming.
What's the reason behind it?
Yeah.
Is the Kepa sale the reason behind it? Is that what it is?
Can I go first?
Go on, Eric.
Yeah, just to quickly, just run through the reasons why fans feel like it's coming from their personal accounts.
Bank account, yeah.
Technically, fans are it is part of the fans' money, because they pay for club merchandise, they pay for tickets. So in a sense, it is the money of the fans as well. But that's just part of it. But when, like James said, when we see that money is wasted on players, we don't like it, and we know that the money can be used elsewhere. So that's the main reason I think people are so concerned about it. It's not as if we're hung up on how much money is being spent. It's about spending wisely and using the money the best way. So we don't want to see people being bought for more money than they should be bought for, because the money can go somewhere else.
And it's about the club too, right? We want the club to be successful as a whole. So we want, the money that we're spending to be used properly. We don't want to be sinking our money into investments that we can't recoup, because that hurts the club overall, right? Like, we don't want to go into, a position where like Roman's just bailing us out like he did a couple of years ago, like $200 million every year. We don't want to see that.
I agree.
The club, to me, I think has to be sustainable and solid.
I agree with all of that. I agree with everything you just said, everything Eric just said, and what Max is about to say. All right, I know what he's about to say. I agree, but the point is this. The point is this. Okay, who is in a better position to make that judgment? Us lot or them lot?
Oh, 100% them. 100%.
Max, jump in.
But listen, what I was going to say is, look, okay, financial fair play has been relaxed, but there is going to be some sort of financial restraints on what you can spend. Okay, so the club, they have to run it like a business. It's not okay. Everyone's saying it's Roman's little plaything. He can just splash out the money or whatever. But no, if you look at what he's done, and he's done it in the last few years as well, he's balanced a bit. Because if you look at our net spend, we are not in the top 5 or 6 for net spend. So we have been good at selling players to bring in other players as well. And so we don't want to get burnt in the future. So, okay, we splash out 200,000. Then next year, UEFA say, okay, fair play's back in, and you've got 2 or 3 years to balance the book. So we don't want to be in a position where we can't get our books balanced or whatever. Or could we will be paying backhanders like Manchester City are doing. I won't go there, but yeah. So that does have to be sensible, I think, in what we're doing. That's why I think the club are selling players as well to get in some money.
I don't even think it's just Chelsea fans that are doing it. I think it's becoming more of a football thing. Everyone has their own judgments on how much they think a player should be worth or how good a player is, you know, and that's always going to be the case in football, because if I think Haaland's worth 200 but Baggy thinks it's worth 300, doesn't mean that we're right. It's just, you know what I mean? It's an opinion, and like you're right. At the end of the day, it falls down to the football club, and whatever the football club choose to spend is because they can do it at the time, and Chelsea have not given us no reason not to spend money. You know, not to spend the money wisely. But with the things like Kepa, for example, you know, spending 70 million on a goalie.
That was a panic buy, there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a panic buy. Yeah, we just don't want. And don't get me wrong, Kepa and Haaland are two different things. So we know what we're getting. Do you know what I mean? In many ways, with Kepa, I don't think we really knew what we was paying for at the time. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and here's the thing as well. Supposing that we, for instance, splashed out 80 million on the Declan Rice, say, and then Dortmund priced Haaland at 170, and we said because we spent 80 million on him, we haven't got enough budget to buy like a Haaland. So that's another thing you've got to look at when you're, because we're already going to be splashing 40, 45, 50 million on Kounde. So, and I'm not sure what the budget was been set aside for new players this season. So,
Max, you make a very good point here, and this is something that we talked about in previous streams. And the point is this: Chelsea are reluctant to make other transfers until they see what the Haaland deal is all about, because that is going to be the benchmark that they can have their budget splashed out on XY position. Right now, Chelsea have just bought a goalkeeper, very close to buying a centre back. We haven't bought a DM yet. We haven't bought a striker yet. But for Chelsea to be doing it this way, goalkeeper, centre back, does that mean that these two positions are already, we've already progressed enough that we can, do this? Because Kounde is an expensive player, and having Kounde, and then having Declan Rice, and then having Erling Haaland, I don't see that happening. I mean, Kounde,
it won't be if he's a player swap, Baggy.
No. Well, you mean for the Zuma?
Yeah.
It's still 20, 30 million on top, right?
No, Zuma's valued at 40 million.
Zuma's valued at 40 million.
Yeah, supposedly, from what I've heard. And you got to bear in mind, what they're selling him at is not sterling, it's euros. So they want 50 million euros for Kounde, supposedly.
Not pounds.
No, euros. So, but obviously that's all
I heard 60 to 70 euros. 60, 70 million euros, which is around 50.
Yeah, to be fair, no one's actually confirmed it yet as of what the ins and outs are. But someone told me it was 50 million euros and that Zuma was being thrown in that deal, but Chelsea were valuing him at 40 million sterling. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
If that is the case, then it flips it on its head, because my concern was that us getting this player and being so far along in regards to the transaction, it would mean that the deal for Haaland, the deal for either Tchouameni or Declan Rice has already reached a advanced stage, because I think that each one is linked to the other in regards to the budget itself. I am quite positive in regards to the striker situation. I think if Chelsea have made this headway in regards to the centre back and a goalkeeper, I'm pretty sure a striker is inbound. Whether it's Haaland, whether it's somebody else, I think a striker is inbound.
Can I come in here, Mark?
Yeah, go on, Bobby.
I mean, I've looked at this. I've thought about it every which way, even to the point that I've sort of switched off because there's so much going on out there. And I do agree with Jules. This is now the Chelsea detractors' heyday, with all the negative stuff about the story as well. I believe, it's just my opinion, I think this deal is nearly done. And that's why we've started buying other players, and that's why...
Haaland you're talking about. Okay.
That's why Dortmund are buying. The transfer policy this summer, because of Haaland, has been particularly confidential. So much so that we don't even get a sniff of our third choice goalkeeper until he's in the club. So it's really been tight-lipped, hatches buttoned down and business be not just behind closed doors, but behind Fort Knox. But the business is being done. I really believe that. Chelsea are not looking at anybody else but Haaland. It would surprise me if they are. It's possible. It will surprise me if they are. And I think the delay in a lot of it is partly strategy as well as negotiation. The only time I'll start showing some concern is if by the end of this week there isn't some sort of leak of progress with the Haaland deal. Then I'll start thinking, what's going on here? But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if the next thing we hear by Friday is we're close to agreement, if agreement hasn't been there already. And the Kounde deal, I heard it is a bit of money plus a player. It's likely to be Zuma, but not exclusively. Could be anybody.
Has
Could even be
Zuma
one-
has Zuma been mentioned by Fabrizio Romano though?
Yeah, Fabrizio Romano mentioned earlier that
Oh,
the
did
player
he?
that
Yeah,
Chelsea are
he
trying to
did,
agree
yeah.
with is Zuma.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Zuma. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be Zuma, but they're basically what they're trying to do at the moment, from what Fabrizio said earlier when I watched him live, is that they're trying to do a player swap deal. So it might be the case that Chelsea still pay for Kounde, but they're going to pay for Zuma. And I think it's something to do with just balancing the books, more of the accountancy side of things. But yeah, they call it a player swap, even though it ain't an actual here's your player and here's my player sort of thing, and no money on top. But
What, like
anyway,
give him on loan or something, and he pays that they pay his wages?
no,
No, no,
they
no,
pay
no, no.
they pay the full price for him, but they still call it as a player swap. I don't know. It's what someone was telling me earlier. I don't really understand all the ins and outs.
It's like right now on FIFA you can't do player swaps. Well, in previous versions you could. So what you got to do is you got to agree with your mate. Look, I'm going to sell you this guy for that price. I'll put him on the market. You buy him. Then you put your player on the market for that price, and then he buys him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of them ones, yeah.
And as for Declan Rice, the only thing that makes me concerned or feel that deal may not go through is not even so much the money, but the length of his contract. I think that will be very difficult for them to budge because of that length of contract. If it was a shorter, number of years, maybe like 2 years, then the 100 million or whatever they're asking could be negotiable. But now, as it stands, it's going to be difficult. And, you've got to pick your battles. We've got enough to fight for Haaland without adding Rice to the whole deal.
What's his talks about Lukaku? Because I'm getting messages about it as well. Someone let me know
130
Yeah.
million pounds apparently.
Yeah.
But it was turned down by Inter Milan. But that came from the ever reliable Chandreka. Was it?
That completely squashes the Haaland situation, didn't it? If that's true.
Why did we pay 130 million for Lukaku?
What's his name? Tandreka. He's got an awful transfer record, hasn't he? That Italian journalist.
We'll give you 130 million, which is what Dortmund want for Haaland, and we'll give it to Lukaku instead. Like that just doesn't make any sense, does it? Sometimes you've got to put A and B together.
Yeah, that's a nonsense one. And because that story also went on to say that Chelsea have only earmarked 130 million for a striker, and that's the maximum that they'll go up to.
I do think we've got to gear ourselves up, though. You know that I really do. And if we don't see any movement on the Haaland side of things this week, and we go into next week, and it's still quite quiet, I'm actually waiting for that sort of journalist message to say it's off. Like I just don't see how Chelsea get this done a couple of days before the start of the season. I would think that they'd want Haaland well into pre-season, training with the guys, mixing with the guys, maybe potentially getting involved in the Super Cup on the 11th as well. I just think we've got to be geared up for the worst case scenario still.
But not only that as well, Dortmund like to get their business sorted before the season starts as well, and that's why the Sancho deal didn't go through with Manchester United last season, because they gave him a deadline. Although there's no deadline in this one, I don't think they'd like to do business after their season starts.
There is a lot of false hope, I feel, with the Haaland deal. We're trying to find any reasoning to convince ourselves that this is going to still happen. But in my opinion, the main reason is Declan Rice and Haaland are very complicated deals. As Baggy was saying, we were looking for a striker and a midfield. We signed a centre back and a goalkeeper, which are less as priority for us. And those are easier deals to get done. As simple as that. Haaland, Declan Rice are very complicated. There is reports about apparently we're going for Declan Rice and Tchouameni at the same time, trying to maybe get both. I don't know if you guys heard about anything.
Well, Kounde's agent is exactly the same agent for Tchouameni. It's the exact same agent, so there is a link between them. But what I heard from my boy Monster earlier, because he told me, he said with the Declan Rice deal, the reason it won't get done is because they want 70 million, but on top of that 70 million, they want one or two players from us. They want a Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and they want another player on top of it. That's how much they value Declan Rice. Yeah. That's what I've been told.
Give them. Let's give them Ross Barkley, man. They could have him.
I actually think. Did he say Tammy Abraham as well? I was like, nah, it can't be.
Because Moyes has worked with Ross Barkley.
Yeah,
before,
he told me earlier. He said that. That's what he was told by somebody in West Ham.
Are a bunch of jokesters.
That's how much highly they rate Declan Rice. They're not barging on the 70 mil. They've made that clear. But on top of that, they think that Chelsea should give him a player as well for him.
What, 70 million and a player?
And a player. Or two.
They're not
Maybe
they
would ask to exchange with Havertz. Might as well.
Do you think Declan Rice is going to kick up fuss if this drags on any longer? Because he's already said that any offers come in, let me know about them. I mean, what do you think is the impact it's going to have on him as a player moving forward next season? And doesn't West Ham balance that out? I mean, if he's not going to be happy at the club, and he'll still be there. He's the club captain. He'll still be there, but he ain't going to be happy. The repercussions of that on his performance, on his productivity.
Can I say something? You know how much I love Declan Rice, and I'm a big fan of him, right? Jem, you know that as well.
I know you like burnt rice. We know.
But I want to say something. If he doesn't kick a fuss and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm happy to play for West Ham," and he plays and go on with his thing, then you know what? Stay there, because you keep trying to send subliminal messages to the fans and the club that you really want to play for Chelsea, but then when we need you to actually do something, put some pressure on your club, you don't. Then I'm not interested anymore. So let's see what happens. I don't know, but he needs to do something about it. He needs to put pressure. He needs to put a transfer request if you really want to come play for us.
The funny thing about these two deals, they're such high-end deals, and although we kind of all believe that by next week, if we're not really hearing anything, particularly about the Haaland deal, there's need to be concerned, and perhaps indeed there is. But if Chelsea still don't make any kind of move for a striker, this sort of thing could be a deadline day situation. It could go to the wire.
Yeah. Cue Ashley Barnes or someone. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys, by the way, now that Bobby said this. Do you think, is it logical that Chelsea would wait until literally the last day and put that official offer or bid?
No, it won't work. It won't work.
That kind of thing could happen if, for example, we offer 130 with 20 add-ons, and they say no, they want the full 150, and then we haggle and haggle and haggle. Then almost on the eve of deadline day, we say, "Well, sod it, here, have the whole 150." It can happen like that.
I can't see Haaland being a deadline day deal.
Why not?
It's too big a deal to be a deadline day. It's not going to be a deadline day deal. And we've got to remember.
Things have happened, Max.
No, we've got to remember as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be like this season, but usually the German window closes at 5 on deadline day. Ours closes at 12 or midnight or whatever it is, or 11, I think it is for us. It may change this year, but in the past, that's the way it's been. And okay, they've got in a replacement already because Marlon's been confirmed today. But what they're going to do with all that money, they're going to probably want to get a couple more players to improve on their squad. And they wouldn't want to wait till the last minute.
Max, people kind of have a misconception about transfer money. There is an aspect. I mean, remember, teams haven't been having gate revenue. They've got other bills to play in the running of the club, and so many other channels for money. The money comes in useful, full stop. Whether, in fact, only a certain percentage of it for a club, particularly like Dortmund, and indeed every club, only a certain percentage of it is actually used for players. Some of it has to be sunk back into the club itself. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I mean, I don't know. Ideally, the deal needs to be done this week. But there is still scope and a possibility that it could go to the last day.
I would be shocked if we don't sign a striker by the end of this transfer window. Whether it's Haaland or not, I'd be surprised if we don't bring in at least one striker. Bearing in mind we want to get rid of Tammy Abraham as well, who I think actually is going to stay now, you know. I've got a feeling he's not going anywhere.
After today's performance, I doubt it.
No, I think he'll go. I think he'll go.
His performance today stank. How many chances?
It was horrible. It was horrible. Yeah.
I have a question for Jem. What would your stance be on the Chelsea board if we sign Kounde and we don't sign Haaland, and that's it? Like basically, we sign the goalkeeper and the defender, and then that's it.
I'd be surprised, because to be honest, the defending, I actually thought the defence side of things, that was probably our strongest area this season. I didn't think we'd actually be looking to. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that we've brought in Kounde and done and doing a player swap if it goes through for Zouma. I get it if it goes down that route, but if you look at what we actually needed, the striker thing's been the case since the transfer window was open. You know, we knew that we needed a striker. It was not rocket science to know that Chelsea needed someone up front, and the fact that we allowed Billy Gilmour to then go out on loan as well told me that we need to strengthen that area as well. So I still think we will improve them areas, but if we didn't, I would be pretty annoyed a little bit. I don't know about you guys. I think it probably would annoy me a little bit.
Listen, Kounde apparently is really, really close to securing Chelsea. Are really close to securing the signature. We had Marcus as a goalkeeper. Two names that were not even talked about leading up to this week. Could we be getting a striker and a DM that we haven't talked about leading up to this transfer window at all?
It could happen.
What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm confident.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm confident we'll be saying that.
I'm pretty sure that if we don't sign Haaland, we will get a striker, and there's be a striker that we haven't even talked about.
Or probably
or somebody we have talked about, but not a lot, like Lewandowski.
Danny Ings.
Yeah.
No, it'll probably be someone like that. Chelsea
Lukajovic.
Perspective spoke about him a lot.
Jalinka. Yeah.
Jalinka. What's his name? Jalinka.
Oh, the one who plays for Fiorentina.
Yeah, it could be someone like that.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that happening, although fans won't be happy with it. But
Berardi is also in our radar, apparently. Too.
Yeah, but he's a winger though, right?
Yeah, he's not really an out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, guys. I think that just the magnitude of this deal and the size of this Haaland deal, I don't know if we go back in for a striker of that caliber unless it's, Lewandowski at a reduced number, which will never happen because I don't think Bayern will sell him for less than 100 million euros. I think it's Haaland or bust. And by bust, I mean B-Tech strikers like, your Ings and whatever else, Velhojevic or whatever that guy's name is. I don't think that we're going to get that clinical elite level striker unless it's Haaland. That's my ultimate.
And that'll be the difference in the league. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you only get one shot, don't you? This is Chelsea's shot at this point in time to go really through the roof as a club on the field. And Haaland is that shot, and we've got to take it. We have to get this guy, and I know the we all know it anyway. That's why we're saying, well, if we don't get him, as fans, we always sort of prepare ourselves for the worst But honestly, I just think we're going all out for this guy because we're at that moment in time that this is the way, and we've got to take this shot and get this guy.
I hope so.
Bobby, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear a here we go from Fabrizio Romano for Harry Kane to Man City.
Me too.
Because that will be the catalyst. That will be the catalyst to get Marina Granovkaia.
What, to like drop 200?
Listen. All right, listen. It might be too early. But I'm gonna ask this question. Is Marina Granovkaia at fault if this doesn't happen?
No.
No.
Unless she doesn't put the bid in. If she puts a bid in, they don't accept it, then yeah. If she doesn't test the water, then we can.
What if she tests the water with 130 and that's it?
But if she tests the water, as long as the bid is put in, then I say she's got no blame.
She bids 130. They reject it. Are you happy? Are you content?
Yes, because she done what was required.
130.
Mo, you know, I don't, give her any favors. You know, I treat her just like everyone else. But I think this deal is so big, she can't be doing it alone. And, you know, what she's doing has to be under the permission and the support of Roman. You don't go spending 100 plus million. I think in football we call these figures as if it's confetti. This is pound sterling. This is money. You know what I'm saying? You don't just spend this money like that without clearances from all sorts. You know, there's a process. So no, she can't be to blame. Where I would start to point at the board is if no bid is made at all. We've got to go for it. It can't be just down to her. It's too much money.
If she didn't get that green light from Roman Abramovich to go for him, the fact that we're linked with him since January, basically, means everyone on the club from all levels have that green light, go after him, no matter what the cost is. But as Bobby said, if that bid doesn't go through, she's to blame. If this bid goes through and Dortmund say he's not for sale, even if you drop £500 million, then it's not her fault. So as of today, nothing official came through. So let's wait and see.
Do you know what's mad about it, right? We're all sitting there talking like as if we're waiting for the bid. Chelsea might have already fucking done it. Like this, Chelsea might have done it. Chelsea might have done it 2 weeks ago, and I'll tell you why. Because with the Havertz deal, it's the same thing. We were waiting for Chelsea to lay this money. When it was actually announced that it was all sorted and agreed, Chelsea had actually put that bid in a week before. it was already done.
Haaland was trying to be sarcastic with that reporter. It's like, do you know anything? You're a reporter and you haven't got a clue what's going on. Oh, Chelsea 150 million. I'm not worthy. You know, and inside of him, he's laughing. His brain's like, what the hell is these guys on, man? I don't know what's going on. Maybe.
Yeah. Did any of you listen to Jan Fjortov on the Fabrizio Here We Go podcast? And the comments that he made. He said Chelsea would only put in an official bid once they know it would be accepted. The deadline in my head will be the first week of August. If they agree to Dortmund, I think it would have to be in the next week. And he went on to say, no one knows when Chelsea will put the official bid in. If they do, not me, not even you, Fab. Chelsea only know this. Chelsea working in silence.
Correct.
Do you know what, guys? If we pull this deal through, I'm going to be so proud of my club. Honestly, I mean, this would be cream.
I think we'll all be smiling massively. You know, the amount of happiness that will go down around, man. It'll be
yeah. And Havertz last season, because I even until he signed, I said, "We're not getting this player. He's too good a player. We're not getting him. And then, then it became real to me. And then obviously we pulled that one off. And even the Haaland one, it looks like this guy is like one of the best, if not the best, young talent in world football. Can we pull this off? And I think we can do it.
Do you know what, Max? For me, it's not about Haaland. It's about Haaland playing with the players that we already have. Can you imagine what Kai Havertz will be able to do having Haaland ahead of him?
Exactly.
Timo Werner is
Scary.
able to do. What
Those sort
this
of
is,
passes
this
from
is,
Ziyech.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm so
Excitement.
excited about Haaland.
Yeah.
It isn't Haaland that I'm excited about. It's what Haaland will do to Chelsea with the players that we have at Chelsea. I mean, those crosses from Reece James, those beautiful crosses from Reece James that no one seems to be able to deal with. All right, but you know, I mean, unless Giroud is on that pitch, no one's heading those in. Haaland will be able to do something with that. Those quick through balls that Ziyech puts out or Havertz puts out. You know, when Mount is pressing, someone is going to be able to be using that press for something positive, and that's what I'm excited about. It's not Erling Haaland; it's what Chelsea can do with Erling Haaland.
And you
I'm excited about.
You forgot one thing as well. Those 30-yard rockets.
Yeah.
Goals, isn't he? Like out the blue from the
man
corner.
has a shot on him. The man has a shot on him.
He's got all the attributes to that suits the Premier League. He's strong. He's quick. He can score from abnormal like angles. He's got everything. He is literally the mould. I keep saying it.
Yeah.
He is the mould of Diego Costa and Drogba combined. But the only difference with him, is that he's gonna be a bigger and better goal scorer. He's an actual goal scorer. They wasn't goal scorers. He is a goal scorer. He will break records at Chelsea.
Lads, we got more than 200 people in the chat.
Wow!
Hit that like button, lads. Hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, I beg you subscribe. I want to hit that 7,000. I'm begging you. I'm literally begging you to get. Listen, I need less than 100 subscribers to get my 7,000. Literally. So if you haven't subscribed and you're watching the stream right now, click it. 223 of you. Click like and click subscribe. I appreciate that.
I was trying to get you on mine earlier, Baggy. I had 400 live viewers, man.
I was out, man. I was out doing something, man. I
saw yours while I was at work, so I can. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was a mad one. Come on, no. Do you know what? It was perfect though, because I was sitting there at 1 o'clock. All of a sudden, everyone was like, check your DMs. I'm like, what are you talking about? Kounde news. As soon as I brought up Kounde news, it just went higher and higher. I was like, what's going on here?
Jem, where's your membership? I'm waiting for you and Matt. I don't do members lightly.
Yeah,
but
I know.
you and Matt, I've been waiting. Where's these guys' membership?
Oh, I'm going to do it. Don't worry. Just for you, Bobby. Just for you, mate. I'm getting sorted.
Yeah.
I got a quick question.
Go on.
So if we sign Haaland, does that put Frank Lampard's goal record under serious threat?
Yes, 100%.
Even if he's only here for 5 years?
Definitely. No, listen.
Yeah,
you see,
sorry,
Jim. In regards to Haaland, do you guys know who his role model is in football?
Lampard.
No. Abramovic.
Oh,
he loves
Abramovic.
He loves Abramovic. He loves Abramovic. Ibrahimovic. He loves Ibrahimovic. Right? And one thing that I'm concerned about is Ibrahimovic doesn't stay around for very long. Okay, he played in literally every league. I think Ibrahimovic. France, England, America, Italy. Did he play in Germany? He played for Ajax in the Eredivisie. So Ibrahimovic has been around, and that's the thing. That's my concern with Haaland. I mean, he's already starting to do the ponytail. I mean, I'm not sure if he's got any facial hair, but he really wants to be him. He really wants to be him, and that is a concern. If he wants to be a journeyman, I'm not so sure about that. Go on, Bobby.
Haaland hasn't come to Chelsea. People don't come to Chelsea and want to go away. Or if they go, they never forget Chelsea. Even Diego Costa. Despite how he left, Diego Costa only left because of his missus, really. You know, he probably couldn't care less. And he struggled a bit with the language. But he still remembers Chelsea. We're not that sort of club
loves Chelsea.
That you come
he
to.
loves Chelsea.
Yeah. We're not that
Oscar,
sort of club.
Crespo.
People keep going on about Real Madrid and, what attracts players is their wages. But the biggest mistake, one day that will come to light, that Eden Hazard ever made was leaving Chelsea for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I was going to mention Hazard, because Hazard probably only thought he was going to spend 3 or 4 seasons at Chelsea before moving to Real Madrid, but he fell in love with the club so much that he spent, 7-8 seasons with us before moving on. Yeah, 7 seasons.
Emotional attachment, and if you look at what happened to Hazard after he left Chelsea, He got injured. He got fat. And I'm not even a joke, right? Look at Willian, yeah, another one for example. Look how fat he's got for Arsenal. It's like they've lost their love. You know, when you lose the love of your life, and then you just go depressed and you start eating and stuff. That's what happens when you leave Chelsea. You know.
Like, listen. Willian left Chelsea, and then boom, they win the Champions League. It's like, man, what was that all about? You know,
he must be gutted.
He must be gutted. He must be gutted. It's like, you know, it's like Champions League. They won it. I'm never going to win nothing with Arsenal, and it's just lost that opportunity. It's
but
like,
even Hazard, though, what do you think?
That's why he
Hazard.
started eating. Like, listen, Max. That's why he started eating. I mean, as soon as Chelsea won the Champions League, him and David Luiz went to their restaurant and started smacking a munch. Because that's it, man. It's like, we're never going to get this again.
Him and Arteta both said that they'll win the Champions League in 3 seasons.
Even players that had their prime years elsewhere, Ruud Gullit, George Weah,
Marquez was also a Chelsea fan, wasn't he?
Hasselbank.
Zola. Hasselbank, he sort of came at his peak. But, you know, these players that can look back, even Vialli.
Desai.
You know, Desai.
Yeah.
Makelele.
Chelsea through and through. You know, they don't mess with their Chelsea. Makelele, you know, all these players.
Balak loves Chelsea.
Exactly.
Essien loves Chelsea, mate. He's
Essien came when he was a young man, so you know
he still loves us, though, man.
Oh, definitely. I mean, ex-players.
He's still playing. He's still playing somewhere.
Even John Obi Mikel loves us.
Well, even Craig Burley. I mean, as
no. Listen. You got too far there, man.
No, not Burley.
You need to listen to his table talk with LeBeouf when he spoke about his playing days at Chelsea. There's still a lot of fondness there. Craig just does that out of spite. His nature is spiteful. So someone hurt him at Chelsea and he just decided to spite the club. But, you know, deep down, that blue bug, once it bites you, doesn't leave you. And it's going to bite Haaland. Bring him over. We'll sort him out.
I think with Burley, he didn't get to play in that semi-final, wasn't it? And that was...
The final?
Yeah. There's no... he played the semi, he didn't play in the final. And he was hurt by that.
Do you know what? Someone said Good Johnson in the chat, and I was just like, nah. After he went to Barcelona and when he scored against us and celebrated like he'd won the World Cup, I don't look at him in the same way.
And he also joined Spurs as well, so he doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Did Good Johnson join Spurs?
Yeah.
He did, He did.
Yeah.
I still love them.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, he did.
Spurs. I just can't. Maybe I was so shocked by it that I blanked it in my mind. I just can't see it. Good Johnson played for Spurs for how long?
It
wasn't that long. It was awful for Spurs.
Yeah, it was shocking there. I remember that as well.
No, I must have blanked that one. I was traumatised.
They were the days, eh? Damien Duff, Joe Cole, Good Johnson. Who else was doing? Crespo. Do you remember them boys?
Crespo, yeah.
If we kept Hasselbank and Good Johnson under the Mourinho season, it would have been.
Iron Robin.
We did keep Hasselbank. We kept Hasselbank. Hasselbank and Good Johnson were there for the first season of. No.
I think no.
Yeah, no. Good Johnson was there.
Good Johnson was there. Hasselbank.
Good Johnson and Hasselbank were the team at one point. They were like a partnership.
Good Johnson missed that chance against Liverpool to equalise, and then Jose didn't forgive him after that. And was that the same day as the ghost goal? Last minute, he had that shot, and
then we decided to sign Mateo Kezman, which was the worst waste of money I've ever seen in world football. Man. Shit player he was.
He scored against Liverpool in the final, though. I'll give him that. That's about all he did for us, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, lads, listen. It's 12 in the morning. 12 in the morning. That is one long stream. All right, but it's been a good one. Enjoyed the debate. Enjoyed the conversation. Listen, lads. I may open up the next stream to everyone. Because I know a lot of people wanted to join and they weren't able to join. Not everyone has Twitter. So I may open up the next stream. We'll have to wait and see. But listen, it's been a great discussion. I believe we will hear something very soon in regards to the striker. I think that will be the next story that we're going to hear about in regards to who we're going to sign. Keep your eyes peeled, lads, and keep checking the Blue Lounge. We will have more content coming your way. I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to sign off. So we'll start with Bobby. Final thoughts, mate.
Yeah, I think this is one we've got to just keep the faith, really. I know it's nervy, but for those of us that never faltered in the beginning, there's no need to falter in the end. Haaland's coming to Chelsea, and I think we're going to celebrate this one like we did the Champions League, because we would have caught a real diamond there. I think if he comes to Chelsea, he's going to do very, very well. And, we should have nothing but pride for our club if we pull this off, for sure.
Yep. Eric Blue, final thoughts? Eric Blue, you hearing me?
He's probably gone to make a cup of tea.
I think he might have. Max, final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about the Haaland thing. I just want it done. So we should have straw bets, take bets about when we think it's going to be announced, the deal or the bid.
Listen.
Let's have a little sweepstake on it.
That's a good one. All right, listen. What day is it today? Well, we're now in Wednesday, all right? We're officially in Wednesday. So, we got, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right, who wants to take tomorrow as being the day Haaland is announced?
Or the bid's gone in, or the announce? Probably the official bid.
No, bid.
Yeah.
So I want one of us to take a day, and then we will go back on it and see who got it right. So anyone wants to be brave and take tomorrow or today?
Nah.
No.
All right. All right, Thursday, the 29th, Thursday. Who wants to go for the 29th?
Nope.
The Kai Havertz number. Nobody wants to go for the 29th. Wow. All right, Friday. Will an announcement happen on a Friday just before the weekend?
I'll be brave. I'll go for Chelsea. Kind of do that Friday. That is a bit of a Chelsea thing. So let me be brave. True. I'll stick my neck out for that one.
I don't have a pen and paper. Can somebody write these down? So Bobby, your
we can go back on it
Friday.
next time, can't we?
Yeah.
I'll just tell you what day I am. I'm Monday. That's it.
You're Monday.
You stole my day.
Yeah.
Monday.
I'll take Tuesday. When's the next game, though? When's the next actual game?
Sunday. we play Arsenal on Sunday, don't we?
Okay, so I'm taking
when's
Tuesday.
The Tottenham game? Is the Tottenham game to Tuesday?
Yeah.
Is it?
Wednesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Is it?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to have an impact? When there's a game on,
I don't think they're going to do it when there's a game.
We might do.
It's only a friendly, because today's Kounde news was we played Bournemouth today, and that's Kounde news. I'm going Wednesday, so we can sing at the Tottenham fans. So
we kind of do it after the game, don't we?
No, but the thing is, we're showing off the trophy on Sunday, aren't we?
No, it's Wednesday
Wednesday
against Tottenham.
Yeah. When is the Tottenham game? Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, the Arsenal game's Sunday at the end.
All right. Wednesday is me.
Oh, yeah, I said Wednesday.
Me and you.
Okay.
That's it. Tag team. Wednesday is me and Max. Who's taking Tuesday?
I got Tuesday.
All right. Couch has got Tuesday. Jem has got Monday. All right. Julius. Me taking.
I was gonna say August 5th. It's gonna be a Thursday, I think.
August 5th is Thursday. Well, you're going 2 weeks away.
Yes.
Well, that's a week away. It's a week away, yeah. So not this week, the week after. All right. Thursday. Oh, hold on a second. I'm looking at the wrong
Is
calendar.
Eric back yet? Eric, you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
We're taking bets, or when we think we're going to
Yeah,
bid
I'm
in.
writing.
Yeah.
I'm actually writing them down. Yeah, I've been listening. So,
All right, listen, Eric. Jem is Monday, the 2nd of August.
Yeah.
All right. Me and Max are Wednesday, the 4th of August. Julius is Thursday, the 5th of August. Bobby, was you Tuesday?
Friday, this Friday.
Bobby is this Friday.
Yeah, Friday the 30th.
30th. Friday the 30th. All right. And Couch, what did you say? Couch said
It's just Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Couch.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right. So Monday is Jam, Tuesday is Couch, me and Max Wednesday, Julius is Thursday, and Bobby is the 30th this week. Eric, when you're thinking it's gonna happen,
I'll go with Sunday.
That's not a bad shout.
This Sunday,
Yeah.
Okay.
the first,
That's not a bad
first of
shout.
August. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not really a
Now-
working day though.
Now listen. What we gonna do if one of us gets this right? What are we gonna do? Actually, no. What are you guys gonna do when me and Max get this right?
If someone
Oh,
gets this
boy.
right, I'm donating the new Chelsea kit for him. That's mine.
That's
You don't have to do that though. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
I actually like that idea. Maybe we all just pitch in for one kit for the winner.
Yeah, we can do,
Two,
yeah.
in
Yeah.
some
For a
case.
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd
Let's
be
hope
worth it, man. For
But
Haaland.
if it's Wednesday, you got buy 2 kits for me and Max, isn't it?
That's killer.
That's a mistake.
No, I
Yeah,
don't mind doing that. You could just
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll have a collection. No, you know what we'll do? What we'll do is this: we'll have a collection on the stream, and whatever we raise, we'll buy a kit for the winner. So we don't have to do it. They can do it. You know, we're working hard for them. We're giving them entertainment. They can buy us a kit, can't they? The fans.
With Haaland on the back.
With Haaland on the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty.
Listen. All joking aside, I mean, if he's announced within this time frame, I think we'll all be so ecstatic and overjoyed.
What if it's still off though? We didn't think of that one, did we?
Mm.
What if it's still off?
But I thought the deal is that we're putting
Bid.
in a bid.
It's a bid. Yeah.
Yeah,
The bid, isn't it?
It's a
So-
bid, not
yeah.
the deal. Yeah.
So if they bid and they reject it, then we're still buying shirts, aren't we? No.
I
Listen,
would say it has to be. No, it can't do that. I suppose as I say, it has to be accepted, but you can't do that. That's not fair, isn't it?
yeah. No, you know what? Let's just see.
Let's just see what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just see what happens, and then we'll decide. I mean, if me and Max win it, then we'll decide something good. If we don't, then we'll just do whatever.
Then just let it go.
Yeah. Oh, Haaland is coming on Thursday. Who cares, man? It's coming on Monday. I don't care. Sunday, whatever. You know what I mean? But if it's on Wednesday, that's a different story. Listen,
What I'm
lads,
looking forward to is Wednesday. Are we really displaying the trophy on Wednesday in front of those Spurs flags?
Yeah, we are.
we are.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
That game is live streamed, isn't it? On the fifth stand. It better be.
Yeah, I was going to go, but I can't bother. I got
I
time.
wish I could go. Although if we're doing that, some of them might be waiting for us down the high street. But who cares? We're used to that. Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic! Oh boy,
Yeah.
talk about rubbing it in. No better game.
Amazing.
Hopefully,
I wonder
hopefully it'll be
who
at half
came up
time
with
as
that
well.
idea. I wonder who came up with that idea. But,
It should be at half time when all the Tottenham fans are in the ground as well. So.
They should go over to the away end and just what they should do is walk over the trophy and go, you see it, but you can't touch it.
Yeah. You'll never have one of these, man. You never have one of these. That's it. We've got 2. Amen. So we've done final thoughts from who? I've lost track.
Me, and
You
I think myself,
and-
Bobby.
and Eric.
No, Eric disappeared, didn't he?
Oh, Eric disappeared. Yeah. Eric, final thoughts, mate. Final thoughts. This is dragging
Yeah,
on. But, it's all right.
I disappeared into the comment section. Sorry. Yeah, final thoughts. Please make the bid soon, Chelsea. We're waiting. It's getting difficult for me now. Honestly, it's getting a bit tough now. I think. I went on the football terrace and it was a bit embarrassing because I might have sounded like I was too depressed or something, but
Yeah, I heard
hopefully-
that. I heard what
Yeah.
they were saying to you.
Yeah. Hopefully, it just happens, man. Because this would be huge, though. Like, the emotions will be a complete contrast. If when the deal goes over the line, the emotions will be, it will go the other way. So everybody will be like really excited, maybe even overdo it a bit. So yeah, hopefully we just get this signing. This would be huge. This is like a fantasy once in a lifetime maybe signing. We might be signing the next Cristiano. So
Yeah.
this is
No,
huge.
that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. This is the the Ronaldo and Messi moving forward. That generation has gone. Ronaldo and Messi, they've gone. Mbappe, Haaland are the next two kids on the block, and to have Haaland playing for Chelsea, it's just going to be next level, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the next few seasons. If this happens, we're going to have some amazing memories of the next couple of seasons. But let's just wait and see. Couch critic, final thoughts, mate. I'm going to leave Jim and Julius to the end. Go on, Couch.
Fellas, it's been a pleasure as always. Really enjoyed the insight from all you guys. You definitely have a strong sense of what's going on at Chelsea, and I appreciate hearing from all you guys and the comments, of course. Great game today. I thought Chelsea, the first half, asserted themselves quite well. Unfortunately, could not score. And I thought we saw a lot of good things from Broja and Ike Akpo as well, like scoring another goal, which was good to see. On the Kounde front, I'm excited. I really do think that we're looking not only to the present, but to the future of Chelsea right now. Like, a signing like Kounde is massive. Like, I can't express enough how excited I am to have that guy in the squad. I think he adds more versatility to our back three. He can play on the right flank, and I'm a believer that he can play in the defensive midfield position as well. So that sort of versatility in a squad, positionless football, I think is invaluable. On the Haaland front, you guys know where I've been all the time. I'm saying it's got to happen. It's either Haaland or nobody. Like, we have to bring this guy in. And like, I think it was Bobby that said, like, this is the marquee signing that this squad has been asking for more than a decade now. Just somebody to come in and really be like the spearhead, like the talisman, everything that we want in a striker. And we're not the only one. I'm sure Roman Abramovic is of the same mindset. He's always wants strikers. So a striker like Haaland is pretty much the cherry on top. And I think you said it, Baggy, best. It was just, he allows everyone else to just fall into the natural slots. We're not rushing Havertz to be, our talisman at this point. He's just going to be naturally in his natural spot. Same with Werner and everyone else that falls in behind. So having a talisman, a real, goal getter, goal pig like Erling Haaland is, it's just going to put us in that elite stratosphere for the next 5 to 10 years. So hopefully that comes through on Tuesday so I get that kit. But if not, I'll be happy regardless, man.
Listen, if it comes through on Tuesday, we will delay it until Wednesday because, it's an announcement, but it actually happens on Wednesday. Right, Max?
Mm-hmm.
And if it happens on Monday, boy, we've got to drag it on for a couple of days. Jim, final thoughts, mate.
Yeah, I just everything you guys said. I'm not even going to talk about Haaland because I'm just tired of it. So I'm just going to say, Kounde, come to the blue side, mate. You're more than welcome. You're the guy that I've wanted for, since you were compared to Upamecano and compared to Varane. Everyone thought I was mad when I said I wanted Kounde, and for me, it's kind of like the dream centre back for me, for him to be able to come in, and I really hope he steps up and shows what he's about, because I think he's a raw talent. He's a raw talent because he's still young, and I feel like under a manager like Tuchel, he will honestly bring the best out of him, actually elevate him into a top. I say he's a top player now, but a world class. I'm talking about world class level. Like, I think he can get him to that level, and I just hope that all us Chelsea fans just be patient with him and give him time, like we have done with the other guys, and hopefully he shines. But other than that, with the Haaland thing, get it done. I don't care what day it is, just get it done. I need him in my life. I've been saying it since day dot. I've wanted him more than Harry Kane. I wanted him more than Lewandowski. I wanted him more than Limin Lukaku as well. I just want Haaland, man. That is it. All I want, you know, that song when they say "All I want for Christmas is you." That is literally it. All I want for Christmas is Haaland. Literally, that is it.
I'm gonna start crying. all right. Let's get back to the manly stuff. Yeah, Julius, man, what do you reckon is gonna happen, mate?
I'm gonna start with Arsenal in the mud. Signed England's fourth choice centre back for £50 million. Look at us, we're going for the Koundes, the Haalands, you know, like levels. Know your places, know your place. And then the other thing I want to say, Haaland bid is gonna be probably discussed on Friday this end of week this week, Friday this week, and the deal will be announced on August 5th. And I'm gonna win that trophy. I'm gonna win that gift. And
you can buy the kit for yourself, mate.
I reckon he's got some inside information, this guy. So.
And the other thing is, subscribe to the Blue Lounge. Good things are coming, and subscribe to GNA TV because Jem is a wicked guy. In it, fam.
In it, bruv.
Don't be forgetting the Burton Ballers, you know, because they're kind of good as well.
Ballers, yeah.
Listen. I want to say a big shout out also to Andreas in the chat.
Is he there?
He's been here all stream, man. So appreciate you, Andreas, and Andreas is gonna have a big role. Listen, guys, Andreas will have a big role when it comes to Chelsea news in the future. I have a lot of love for the guy in respect to his work and his commitment to finding out the news, and also to giving it to the community, because he has connections and he's using those connections to help the fans stay up to date with the Chelsea news. So big up to Andreas, and hopefully to be getting better things for you, mate, in the future. So
a new Fabrizio Romano, trust me, 10 years.
Yeah,
he is. It's coming.
Yeah.
Can I say something about Andreas as well? Me and Mo have a personal relationship with Andreas. We talk to him a lot. That guy gets a lot of hate. He has connections. We've seen it. So just wait and see. And he's what's it called? He's reported a lot of stuff that is coming out from Tier 1 journalists before all of them. Just because maybe the volume, or maybe that he doesn't have 50 or 100K followers on Twitter. People are not aware of it, but he's made some calls before everyone, and with time, people will realize.
Yeah, totally agree. And listen, the Blue Lounge as a community, it's growing. We are growing day by day, and it's not only what we see on this channel. GNA TV, Burton Ballers, Blue Clouds, Chelsea Perspective, Green Turf. We are all working together. We are all working for the good of the community and the fan base. I am trying hard to allow you, the viewers, to be able to interact with us. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels out there, Chelsea YouTube channels out there, that are not interactive enough with the fan base, and I want to give the fan base a voice. And I know Burton Ballers are doing the same. I know GNA are doing the same. So use our platforms to express your points of view. Support us so that we can grow, and then we can help you in sharing this experience. Because as fans, that's what we're all about. We're all about sharing this journey of supporting our club and seeing our club achieve success. Thankfully we saw that last season, and hopefully we'll see that again this season and moving forward. It's been a fantastic stream. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I've enjoyed everyone who has taken part. Some great comments, some great feedback, and some great banter. I wish you all a good night, and I will see you in my next upload. Take care of yourselves, boys. Peace out.
Up the Chelsea.
Cheers.
Up the Pels.
Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea. Peace.
See ya.